Hi you guys, welcome back to Bright Violet Arts. My name is Valerie and today's video is about my setup process for my bullet journal for the month of August 2022. The theme this month is loosely based on classic floral tattoo designs, and I am really happy with how it turned out. I got a lot of trackers and tables into this month, and I'm really excited to share it with you. And per usual, I am starting off with my cover page art. The first thing I did was use a circle template, which is just a stencil that makes perfect circles in, like a million sizes. And I sketched in, well, I didn't sketch it in, but I traced in a circle that was like big for the outside petal circumference, and then a smaller circle on the inside to serve as the center of the flower. And that just lets me draw petals in really easily that are all, fairly symmetrical. And it is such a help to have that guideline. I used to try to just freehand flowers, and they just never looked as clean as they do when I start off with my circle template. I'm using my Tombow brush pens now to color in the design, and I've only chosen 5 of the Tombows for my color palette this month, and they're all earth tones, and so I'm just going to alternate those same 5 colors in all of the designs to keep a nice cohesive look to everything that I draw. The next step is to take my black medium point Posca pen and go around all of my outlines to leave a nice thick paint pen line, and then when it's completely dry, I've brought in a fine point white paint pen, and I'm going to go through the middle of the black outline with it. And that's all it takes to draw my style of tattoo flowers. So I'm going to do unique designs for all the flowers on all the pages, but they're all going to look kind of the same because of that limited color palette and the stylistic outlines. It's going to be very, very cohesive, and that was kind of what I was going for. I wanted something that was like muted and earthy for August, because I always think that August is like the transition into fall, because for me in my area, school starts at the beginning of August, and it's kind of like the start of the fall season. It's like the kickoff to all of that, and I love to use like harvest colors in August for that reason. Moving on to the calendar spread. This is really a simple layout. I've used a drop shadow, which is kind of weird because I did not use a drop shadow anywhere else in any of the spreads that I made for this notebook, which actually I made 11 spreads for this month. Like I said in the intro, I have a whole bunch of tables and trackers this month because lately I've been doing so good with my trackers, you guys. I am the kind of person who puts a lot of time and effort into the design of my bullet journal. It's really important to me that it looks nice, just for all kinds of different personal reasons and artistic aspirations that I have. But then, ironically, I have a habit of kind of abandoning my journal sometimes in the middle of the month. And it was kind of a problem for me in the first 6 months of the year in terms of setting up, all kinds of really pretty weeklies and stuff, and then going 2 and 3 weeks at a time without touching them, without filling anything in at all. So I say all that to say this, which is that even though, I have abandoned my journal sometimes, lately I've been doing so much better about having an interest in making sure every little blank is filled out, and it's so fun. I don't know why I don't do this every single month, but such is life. Now that I'm on a roll with keeping everything updated, it's just making me that much more interested in tracking more things. But getting back to this month, I have just finished off here my task tracker and my habit tracker. And I did go down from 9 habits to 6 habits this month, and that is strictly because it looked prettier for that layout. But I think it's okay. I think I'll live if I only track 6 habits, because I can prioritize. This tracker is actually my favorite from the whole month. And the reason I love it so much is because it was the first tracker that I made like literally in my bullet journaling career, which is going to be, oh my God, you guys, it's this month. This is my 3-year anniversary. I started in August of 2019. So this is it. This is my anniversary of consistent bullet journaling, or, you know, any bullet journaling, because once I started, I was completely hooked. I've never missed a month. I may miss filling in the pages, but I always set it up. Moving on, this is a spread for my 1 line a day journal entries. And I just have, you know, a single space for each day of the month, and I'll throw like a sentence or a few phrases into each line to help me remember just how I spent my time through the month. I'm doing a really large illustration on the opposite side, and I just thought I'd show you my sketching process. It really does all start with a circle, and then I try to balance the design across the circle without being perfectly symmetrical. So it's like 80% symmetrical, but I make a few little changes to keep it more organic looking. Here's the finished 1 line a day spread. And now it's time to get into the weekly spreads. So there are 4.5 calendar weeks in August. So I did 4.5 weekly layouts, and they're all different designs, which is fun for me. I like to have Dutch door weeklies sometimes, but this month I went back to having, you know, every week on a full layout. So here is week 1 finished up, and then moving on to week 2. I think week 2 is my favorite layout from the whole month. The reason I liked it so much is that it was fun to draw all these flower designs behind the boxes that I left for text. And I'm drawing these in like they're, you know, floating in the background behind the boxes. While I'm setting these weeklies up, I just wanted to point out that I'm using a journal cover on my notebook this month. And for those of you who watch the channel, if you remember, I used a white vegan leather notebook for my journal from January to June of this year. And I loved it. It was so beautiful. But the problem that I had with it is that it just didn't stand up to my usage of the journal. And I think that with the cover on it this time, it's going to protect it a little bit better. And that way it'll still look nice later when I want to display it on a bookshelf. And here I am just outlining some gold paint pen text that I put in for a quote on my 3rd weekly page. And I don't know, this quote is about making more of an effort, and that's just a lesson I need to be hearing this month just for my life. And I'm going to use another quote page at the end of the setup, which also reflects the same sentiment. So here is how the 3rd weekly turned out. And moving on to the 4th weekly, this one I just like so much, and my husband kind of gave me a compliment. I don't know if he meant to give me a compliment or not, but when I was all done with these illustrations, he said that it looked like wide washi tape that I had put down the side of each of these columns. And I just thought, oh cool, he thinks that my stuff is cute enough to be washi tape. Which does beg the question if I should make my own washi tape sometime. And I know that there are companies and services that do this, that let you like send a digital file to them and then they print it into washi tape. And so like I've kind of toyed with that idea, and I was just wondering if any of you guys have tried that or know anything about that. Amanda Rach Lee, if you watch her videos, she did it once, and she said like her opinion was it was too much trouble to mess with. And I don't want to misquote her because it has been a couple years, I think, since I watched that video that I'm talking about with her trying her own washi. But I mean, I do remember thinking that she didn't like recommend it as something other people should try. So that's kind of why I haven't done it. But if you've done it, you know, let me know what your experience was like. I would totally appreciate that in the comments section. Also in the comments, I am asking for theme ideas. If you guys have any that you would like to see me try, I would love it if you drop them in the comments section. And here we're finished up with my playlist, news, and half of a weekly spread for the last 3 days of the month. And I'm moving into my memories and like reflection page. Although this time it's I guess it's not really reflection, it's more of like memories and a quote page. So I've got a spot for 4 photos that I'll print out from my camera roll on my cell phone, and I'll put there, and then here I'm doing another quote about making an effort. And it's funny, this quote is, the way I found it is it was painted on the wall of my gym. So I see it every time I work out, and I guess I just need to see it more often. So I put it in my bullet journal too. And here's how the last spread turned out. And that is going to take us into the final flip through of the month. So I want to just say thanks again for watching the video today. I appreciate everybody that lets me share my journal with them each month. You can follow me on Instagram if you would like to do so. I will link my account in the description box. I am at Bright Violet Arts over there, and I just post about journaling and the process of making my journal pretty much every day. I also post after the pin spreads sometimes on Instagram, so you can see how these particular spreads turned out after they were filled in. For everyone that's still here at the end of the video, I would love it if you left me a flower emoji in the comments just to let me know who you are and you know, that you stayed the whole time. That's awesome. I'll be back again soon with more videos. I've got a great theme coming up for my September plan with me, and I'm so excited to share that one with you as well. I'm already working on it right now. My viewers that follow me on Instagram already know what it is because I've been posting some work in progress photos in my stories and stuff each day. So if you're into that, like I said, you know, Instagram is the place to find out what I'm up to and what next month's theme is going to be. Well, until next time, you guys, thanks again for checking out Bright Violet Arts, and I wish you all happy journaling.